Bill, are you recording this?
Yeah, I just started.
Oh, okay, just saw it, okay.
No, thank you, thank you. Let's see if I may have everybody in. How is everybody today? I hope you're fine. What I'd like to do
Yes.
is start out by giving you a little presentation, and then I want you to be thinking as I'm giving the presentation on an application you like. So today's meeting is about applications.
Oh, yeah, I remember that was a good session.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is share a presentation I'm working on, or I've worked on, and then I want to ask you a question. What is your favorite application other than the basics? The basics being like mail, Safari, messages. Okay. Fair enough?
Yeah,
All right.
sounds good.
So I'm going to share my screen here.
What did it do?
And do you see my screen now?
Yes, yes, yes.
And my picture's on it? My
No, your
No,
name is,
my what?
your name is,
This is Applications by Bill Crane.
And is,
Application by Bill Crow.
is there anything on it besides just that? Like pictures of all of us or anything?
no.
Okay, so it's a clean,
Purple.
okay.
It's purple and blue.
Oh, yes. All right. Let's start out by talking about the parts of your iPad. And there's hardware and there's software. And in the hardware, when we talk about your iPad or the iPhone, we talk about the basic things are the memory, and that's how much storage space you have, the processor, and that's the basically determines how fast your device works. The display, that's the thing that gives you a quality picture, and the camera, which takes a quality picture. Okay. Now we also have something associated with it called software, right? You have the operating system, right? And the operating system consists of basically your home screen and the things that appear on it. And it's just things to that. It's called the applications. It also is where you go to modify your settings. And it also has Siri and widgets as a subpart of the operating system. And then you say, okay, I've got the operating system, and then I'd like it to actually do something for me. And we have something called the applications. And the applications are made up of the Apple generated ones, and I call those the native applications, and vendors. And those are things, those are the consist of, or those applications consist of the functions that people have submitted to Apple. Apple vets them to make sure that they don't contain viruses, that they do what they say they're going to do or what they imply, and that they're relatively easy to use. Now that's kind of subjective. Some of them are easier to use than others, but get the idea? Just nod your head, say, yeah, Bill, I got the idea.
Yes.
Apple has quite a list of native applications, and I've written them down here. I don't know if I have them all, but there's the mail application. That's the blue background, white envelope application. There's Safari, which is Apple's browser. There's the Notes app, the Phone app, the calendar, Apple's calendar, Apple Maps, the Music app, where you play music, the Photos app, where you go look at them, the Camera app. They have an app for books, and they have actually a store you can go to to get the books, okay? They have the Messages app, and that's their texting application. They have one which we should spend some time on at some time in the future called the Health app. And that's quite a nice app. I've gotten more and more into that one, where it could, with you have your Apple Watch, it takes your blood pressure, not your blood pressure, your heart rate, your EKG, and it also tracks a lot of other things going on with you. Okay. There's the iTunes store where you would purchase music. There's the App Store where you would purchase other applications or get other applications. They have an app called the News app. They've added one called the Files recently. They have reminders, clock. They have an app called Find My, and that's used to find your iPhone or iPad. They have an app called Wallet, which you can use on your phone. And if it's on your watch, you can use either of those devices instead of to extend the use of your credit card. You don't have to get your credit card out. You just have to have your iPhone or iWatch. There's the Watch app, the FaceTime, iMovie, great little app that lets you make movies out of your photos and videos. There's an app called Tips. That's the light bulb app. They just recently introduced an app called Translate Now, and there's the Apple Store. That's a sampling of the applications that Apple has. Vendor applications, and these I've listed by category, right? For example, you have communications applications, you have education and information applications, entertainment. You get the idea? Health and finance, productivity, security, social media, and utilities. Okay, that's just the way I've chosen in this case to subdivide the various applications. And if I look at communications, right, you can say, well, there's a bunch for texting. You know, we text, and somebody said, well, are you texting? And I said, yes, but the person you're texting to may be using a different application, and it may be work and it may not work if you're sending a Apple message and they have Facebook Messenger as their messaging application. Doesn't always work unless they have a brother or a sister application on their device. You have Gmail, you have Mail, two different mail applications, and there are a lot more of them. There's Skype, right? And we have FaceTime with Apple, right? We have Hangouts, and you have Snapchat. All of these are texting applications. There's a couple of nice ones you may not have heard of here in education. American Sign Language has an app where you can learn to sign. Bing and Google, they call them educational because a lot of people use them as an educational. My wife and I use them as a moderator for our discussions. You know, just Google it or Bing it, right? Duolingo to learn another language. Elevate, the memory enhancer. Flipboard for periodicals. NASA has a wonderful application. Rosetta Stone, like Duolingo. Wikipedia and Wolfgang Alpha. If you don't use Wolfgang Alpha, you should. It's a statistical Wikipedia where you can type in something and you can just say Sarasota, Florida, and it'll give you all kind of demographics about Sarasota, Florida, for example. Entertainment. Crunchyroll, live action Asian TV for $3, right? It's an anime kind of thing. ESPN, Hulu, Netflix, Spotify, TV Guide is free, and TuneIn Radio. are all different forms of, and their applications for entertainment. In finance, I know Cheryl had asked me some time ago about, does Apple have a finance app, and it's called Mint, right? I'm sorry, there's an app called Mint. It's not from Apple, but there's an app called Mint for your phones and iPads. Coinbase is a cryptocurrency app where you can buy and sell things like Bitcoin. And Groupon is a coupon app. Applications, food and travel. Now, hopefully some of you have heard about one or more of these. There's Airbnb, Gas Buddy. Where's the cheapest gas? Around Me. Where's the nearest hospital, restaurant? Starbucks. Right? Google Maps and Apple Maps. And Waze. All three of those are map applications. Open Table. It's for dinner reservations. The Weather Channel. Kayak and Hotwire for making reservation. Yelp for finding out if it's a good place to eat. And Grubhub to get something delivered. Health and fitness, as I was mentioning earlier, Apple has a health app. MyFitnessPal is another good tracker of your fitness regimen. Headspace, it's how to relax. GoodRx, where's the cheapest place I can get a particular medication. WebMD, get some advice. You know, I've got these symptoms. What are the possible diseases I might have or problems I might have? Find a doctor, ZocDoc, and PillMinder. If you're taking pills, this is one that helps you keep a schedule on taking pills. Lifestyles and hobbies. Ooh, that's HOPPY, hobby. It should be BBY. Craigslist. Great place to, I've sold a lot of things through Craigslist locally here. iBird, if you're a bird watcher, plays the songs of the various birds, has pictures of various birds, etc. Kickstart, where you can go to invest in a company that's just started, or you can start a company and ask for money, right? LibriVox, audio books, and it's a free source of audio books. Adobe Photoshop Express is a photo editor. Apple iMovie is to create movies. Facetune, we'll talk about a little bit later. I think AD, I think you told me about Facetune. Flickr, it's a photo editor. Prisma is a creative editor. You can take your photo and turn it into a Van Gogh type of photo. Pro Camera DSLR basically gives you all the controls that you have on a DSLR camera on your phone, with your phone's camera. Productivity, AnyDo, List and Task Manager, Dropbox, storage place for documents, etc. in the cloud, Evernote, and Microsoft Office Mobile. In the security area, I mentioned Dashline as a password keeper, Kaspersky Safe Kids. It's basically a parental control over the use of your device. VPN and Brave and DuckDuckGo are both browsers that don't track you. And Brave is coming to be quite prominent now, okay? And last but not least, social media. You have Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Twitter are all social media, very popular sites. And utilities, there's one blocker, it's an ad blocker. And I list here a currency converter called Converter Plus. Okay. So that's just a sampling, and those are the more popular ones for 2020. Right? Ooh, somebody just came in. Okay, you're looking at my screen now, everybody. Somebody Sharon, shake your head. Is that my iPhone and iPad? Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to go around here and ask people some questions. And just unmute yourself and tell me, and I'm going to write down these, right? So what I'd like to do, start out with AD and say, AD, what's your favorite application? Unmute yourself, AD. Still not mute. You're still muted. How do I unmute myself? Nope, you're still muted, AD. At the bottom, if you're on an iPhone, or if you're
Okay, I got it.
you got it.
Am I on?
You're on, dear.
All right. Well, I use a lot, but I think my favorite is Real Mahjong. I've been playing online with 3 of my friends for the last year, and one of them moved to Michigan, and the beautiful thing is that she can still play with us.
Yes.
So it's really an awesome game. The wonderful thing now is that in the past, we could just text each other, on screen.
Yeah.
But now they've added a microphone, so we can talk to each other. Yeah, we can talk to. So it's just like being in the same room with them. So Bill, I have to say, I use it every day. So that's wonderful.
Fantastic.
Yes, go for it.
Now this is not. I have one called Mahjong, but it's just using the Mahjong pieces and looking for matches.
Match, right? But Real Mahjong is the real game.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just wonderful. We've had such a good time.
Super.
Is it only for the Chinese version, or can you play the American also?
American. I don't
It
know
doesn't-
about.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, just American.
Cheryl Ann, what's your favorite?
My favorite would be our local library. Since we've been so isolated, I download books all the time and read them, and it's great.
Okay. And is there a special app you use, or is it the local library app itself?
It's the local library app. Plus, I also have a local newspaper app and Wall Street Journal app. So keep busy reading a lot.
Let me let me embellish that a little bit. There's one called Cloud Library or Libby, which grants you access to your library.
Yeah, Libby's the one I use.
Okay. All right. So we in Sarasota could use either Cloud Library or Libby to get to the app, the ebooks that are available. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see, Sheila.
Well, I'm pretty pedestrian. I use the weather every day. But we
Wha-
live in Maine, so you need to use the weather every day.
Amen.
So it's not
Where in Maine are you?
near Portland, Maine,
Okay.
south in the south.
Yeah, in the south.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Which weather app?
The national weather.
Just weather or?
I think it's good question, Bill. I don't know. It's the one by the weather service that comes out. What
Okay.
is Oh, the Weather Channel. I'm sorry, the Weather Channel.
What's it look like? I have just brought up mine. The Weather Channel, is it?
Yeah, it's blue.
Okay. Yep. And there's a bunch of them there.
Right.
There's one called Windy, for example, which is kind of a cool app. See what it looks like on my screen?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can actually see the wind currents in which direction everything's going.
That's important if you're sailing.
Well, it's just an interesting app. Look at the one down
Yeah.
there in the Gulf. It's forming a circle. It's almost like a hurricane down there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's not good.
No, too
But
early.
it's a cool app, and I think it had other things it would do too. But just to give you an idea, right?
Yeah.
I have one called Earthquakes, and
Mm.
you're saying, why in Florida? Well, my son lives in San Jose, California,
Oh, yeah.
and I can check out and see, and it has, by the way, let me get maps here. All right, and I said there's none here, but if I scroll down, it shows you where the earthquakes are happening in the last day or less. See the
Ooh.
triangles up there? And if I tap on one of those triangles, it says that was a 3.0 in the Gulf of Alaska,
Wow.
right? So it's a cool, another,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see who we have next. Ann Ross. Hey, Ann. Good morning. Are you there, Ann?
She's in a Toastmasters contest. I read it on your screen.
That's
Mhm.
right. I'm glad somebody was reading. Well, I think probably I use photos more than anything.
Okay. The native app called Photos,
Yep.
just organize them and get them in the way you like them.
And albums and everything you've been teaching us. It's been so great. I'm finally getting organized.
Super. Okay. We did Cheryl. Sheila.
You did me. I did the weather.
Okay. Barbara. Barbara Cable. Turn your mic on. Okay.
I
Barb,
would say AccuWeather and my Fitbit too.
your what? Second one?
Fitbit app.
Fitbit.
Fitbit.
Okay. Good one.
And it is because, it isn't only your steps, you can, your sleep pattern, your heart rate at rest, your food intake. I mean, you can do everything almost.
Right.
And then you go to your doctor and you tell him all those good numbers. And he's very impressed. Those are my two very favorite.
Got to do it over here. Apple has one called Heart, and I urge you all to take a look at it. You should have taken a look at it and at least put in your emergency contact information into it. Okay, if I go to
Is this same thing that's called as health app?
Yes.
it's called the Health.
Okay.
Did I say Heart or Health?
Yeah, heart, I thought you said.
I
Okay.
should have said Health.
But it does have a heart on it.
Yes.
Oh, you're giving me too much latitude there. Right here it is. On my phone there on the left, see it? But
Yeah.
it has all this information in it. Because I have an iWatch or an Apple Watch, it actually has my EKG readings over time. Right? There's my heart rate over time. And if I tap my heart rate, for example, and I go and I look at it over the month, it's tracking me. And that's because I have the watch again. Okay, but look, I know what my heart rate's variance has been. The number of steps I've taken. Now that you have those, if you have your phone with you when you're taking a walk, it would record that kind of information. And how fast you've walked, right? and it says I should walk more, but there you go. So it's doing all that for you, which is kind of nice.
Excuse me,
I have
Bill.
a question
And
on
that's,
that.
wait, just
Yeah.
let me finish one thing. And that's the same thing that happens on, if you have the Fitbit app. It's recording all that information and you can look at it. Okay, I'm sorry, who did I interrupt? I'm sorry.
This is Cheryl with an S. I have good luck with that when I'm walking. I wondered, but for cycling, biking, do I need to get another device on my bike for it to work?
I think it works on that. You just tell it you're taking a bike ride instead of walking.
I wondered. I will try that.
It's called cycling.
Does it track blood pressure? It's called cycling distance.
No, they haven't developed. Does anybody have an app that actually records, or does Fitbit record blood pressure or not? I don't think any of them do
What?
that yet.
Okay.
I think I heard about one maybe doing that, tracking your blood pressure.
Does your phone have to be on for that health to keep track of your steps?
If you have your watch,
No, if I have my phone, I don't have a watch.
yeah, the phone has to be on. It can be asleep.
Okay, yeah.
It has to be asleep, and you have to have turned on the app.
Unless you have cell data.
Yeah.
Bill, Bill,
Yes.
going back to the health app on your summary page, I noticed you had walking distance or speed under steps.
Yeah.
How did you get that on yours? I don't see that on mine, on the summary page.
On my health
Right
app.
at the steps, it had walking speed.
See where it says show all data?
Yeah,
Okay.
it says walking speed right under your steps.
Right. No, but I
Yeah.
know that. But see where it says show all data?
Yeah, okay.
You tap that and it should list that as one of the items.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you-
Well, Bill, I exercise in the pool every day and neither my watch nor my iPhone records it. I get cheated.
Well, do you have either of them on?
Well, I was wearing my watch in the pool, but I stopped. How do you feel about that?
That's okay.
Is it okay? Okay. Okay.
Excuse me, Bill. How
Yes,
do I get that now on my summary page?
I don't know. I haven't played enough with the app. I printed out a whole set of directions for it, but I haven't played with it that much yet.
You've got yours on the summary page.
I know. I'm lucky.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to get, every day I have to convert my steps into miles when I walk.
Okay, I will
So I
send,
have to ask Siri for it.
I will send you the directions for using the app. And
Oh,
it
thank
should
you.
be in there.
Bill, does anybody have the new watch with the pulse ox?
With the what?
The the oxygen level?
Yeah, my wife does. My wife has a 6.
Let me ask you something. Does it work?
I don't know. I haven't checked it.
Oh. Because I know Apple is having a lot of problems with that.
Okay.
I believe mine has the pulse on it.
The
You talking about
pulse.
beats per minute?
No, she said oxygen level.
Oh, oxygen level, no.
Okay, oh boy, where were I? Your names keep rearranging on my screen, so I'm not. Diane, I don't think I hit you yet. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What's your favorite app?
Well, I'll give you 2 because you mentioned one, NordVPN. I find that an absolutely essential. Even staying at home, I find it's good to use.
Yeah.
So I always use that on all my devices. And also another one that I've been using a lot is the Sonos app. Now that you have to pay for because you have to get a subscription, but it's not just for the car. You know, I have it in the house too. And so I actually, you know, use it. It's on my phone, but I can use it through you know, my TV. I have surround sound for my
Oh,
TV.
So this is using your Sonos sound system?
Well, well, no, I misspoke. It's the Sonos sound system, but what I'm doing is, what's that system for the car?
CarPlay, it could be, or just Bluetooth.
It's a satellite system for the car. I forget
Oh,
what.
yeah, yes.
I'm having a senior moment here.
We're having 3 of them.
It comes in a lot of new cars now.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but I play it through my Sonos system at home a lot, and not just in the car. But you have to get a subscription for it. But you know, I use it all the time now.
OnStar.
OnStar? No, that's
That's
emergency.
the emergency system.
Oh,
If I look enough, I'll find the app for it.
if I wanted music on my, from the satellites on my car, I would get a, it's going to be in the final, folks.
Series.
No.
Music?
It's a subscription service where you can get the 60s music, the 70s music.
Right, exactly.
You can get 24 hours of Elvis.
Serious.
Sirius, there you go.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you, Sirius XM. Thank you.
By the way, Diane mentioned VPN. A VPN is designed so that they cannot figure out where you are when you send out and receive information on the internet, both going through Safari or any browser or any messages. They all end up going through the VPN server, and therefore it's impossible to track.
Well,
Yeah.
I found out how you can see more on your summary page.
VPN.
Summary page. Oh, did
Yes,
you?
on the help. Yes, if you go down to where it says favorites, there's an edit, and you click on that, and then you can choose what you want to see.
Okay. Did you hear
On the
that?
favorites,
Diane?
favorite,
Oh.
yeah.
Thank you.
And tap edit. Oh, yes, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, geez. I'm going to miss somebody here. Got Sheila, I got.
Oh, I have to tell you that it disagrees with Wolfram Opera.
It does?
But I asked Siri to convert my steps to miles, and it goes to Wolfram Opera,
Right. Right.
and it gives me a different mileage than what happens when I drill down into the health app.
Probably they're calculating different step lengths.
Yeah, they are. No, they're using a different conversion of some kind.
Right.
Yeah.
Bill Kelleher. what's your favorite-
A couple of comments first. My wife and I both wear identical Fitbits, and we both have the apps on our phones to keep track of the number of steps. So one of the things that's interesting is when we go for a walk, if I'm holding her hand, I get more steps because my watch is on my left hand and I'm holding her left hand on my right. So because she needs that side for support. And so I can have 3,000 steps on a trip and she'll come out with 900. And the other one is in the supermarket. If we both walk the same aisles, the same distance, she's pushing the cart for support and she'll come out with 90 steps and I'll have 1,000. And so but I
Wow.
think that's just the way they're trying to measure steps. And there's something in the way that whoops, you're getting into the picture. They're getting into the hands things to make that work the way they are. But at least it does give us a good idea. There was also, I was reading about some blood pressure devices, and one of the blood pressure devices had a Bluetooth on it so that you could get their app and it would connect to their blood pressure device. So you still had to do it the old fashioned way of putting the cup on your arm. But then it would keep track of every day you measured your blood pressure and keep the process going on it. So I haven't really used it yet, but it has that capability in it. And then it annoyingly reminds you every day if you haven't taken your blood pressure. That's it. And then for me, I use things like the Livy. I use a lot of the weather. I read a lot of news from different sources. And then I use a lot with the photos. One I used for enjoyment when they were talking about a satellite going over is I use the Sky Guide, because on a cloudy day, it'll show me where the stars would have been if I wanted to see them. So
It also shows you where they are in the daytime.
yeah, so in the daytime, you can see where the stars are. I've been playing around with, I use the notes for trying to keep a to-do list, but I've found one that was called Todoist, Todoist, and that one had the advantage of I could have it on my PC as well as on my iPhone and iPad, so that the same list would show up across platform. And so I like to, when I'm sitting at the computer, keep track of my to-do list, but at the same time, I really want to know what I'm supposed to be doing on my phone. Otherwise, I miss things. So,
Bill, what was the app you used for star watching?
Sky Guide is when you had recommended before.
Yeah, Sky Guide.
Yes.
Sky Guide.
I was thinking about this note.
And I think that's the one where if you actually hold it up to
Yes.
the sky, and then you can move around.
Yeah,
It
it absolutely does. It'll create the sky and
Right.
tell you, and it'll show you where the constellations are. And even if you're doing it in the daytime, you can just do a 360 and see where all of the stars would be. So you could kind of see also when some of the constellations are rising and setting. But anyway, it was a neat thing. I guess my daughter is into science, and she may have told me about that one. So,
Okay.
but anyway, so those are there. And then I like if I've got 5 minutes and I want something mentally not too challenging, I'll use the Sudoku, and I use the one that's S2 because I can do I can set how difficult I want it. So if I want to do something for 30 seconds or for several minutes, I can just change the level of difficulty on the game I'm playing.
That was Sudoku, right?
Yes.
Good. Barb Shapiro.
They're both going to be shopping apps. Sorry.
What kind?
Organize, even though I tried to use reminders, it is not as well put together for me as
Yeah.
Organizy for the phone.
Okay. And what's-
Organizy will allow me to actually have each retail location that I buy stuff. So if I need something from Publix or Sam's Clubs or BJ's or Target or whatever, I can plug it in there. And then if I go out to the store, the other thing that I've come to love, talk about Sam's Club, is
No, hold on. What was the name of that app again you used?
Organizy, Organizy.
Okay. Go
But
ahead.
it's not available for the iPad. It's on, which is disappointing for me. It's only available on the phone.
Okay. I think you can put it. Can you put it on your eye? I think you can.
No. When I search for it on the iPad, it doesn't even come up.
Yeah, but there's a way you can say it's only looking for iPad apps. There's a way.
I would love that and have them synced.
What's the name of it again? How's it spelled?
Organizy.
Okay, you see my iPad there? It says.
Well, you
Organizy?
spelled it wrong. You spelled it wrong, Bill.
Okay, well,
There's an N. There's an N in there.
where is, let me do it again.
Organ. Organ.
Ah. Okay, hold on.
That's okay.
OR.
Ganizzy.
Okay. All right, now I pushed enter and it says didn't find it, right? But look up here in the corner. See where up here?
Yeah.
It's filters. And if I tap that, it can says for iPad only. Well, if I change that to iPhone only and do it, it should list it.
It should.
Well, yeah,
I'm not seeing it yet. It's an orange app.
it's an orange app. Huh?
Yeah,
Should be in the list.
should be. I'm gonna filter it. I'm doing it here as well.
Yeah.
Sort by.
You should be able to find it. Okay. So you want to make sure it's filtered by,
Right, I'm doing that.
and then look for it if it's for the phone. And it should have it there. I mean,
It should, I don't know.
it may
Isn't that
not.
weird?
Yeah.
It's not, and for me, that would be handy because no matter which device I'm on, but
But you-
it doesn't seem to be available that
But you
way.
gave me an opportunity here. I taught a class one time where I learned about this little feature. A gentleman had an app that he used all the time. It wasn't working right. And I deleted it from his device to reload it again. And it didn't reload. I couldn't find it. That's because it was a iPad he was using and it was an iPhone only. And so I saw the filter, I tapped it, and I changed it, and there was the app he was looking for.
Huh.
Okay.
Bill, isn't that similar to reminders?
Reminders for me, Marcia, you and I've talked about it. It just doesn't seem to work the way I want it.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
gotcha.
the way and I've been using Organizy for years, probably before reminders ever existed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You'll help me with that later.
Okay.
Marcia,
This
did I-
iPhone.
Bill, the other thing I wanted to share that I'm loving is, and some of the stores are doing it, the retail, Sam's Club. I mean, I don't shop there often, but when I do, I love scan and go feature.
and what's scan and go?
Yeah, it's a feature of the Sam's Club app, and I think I just learned this morning, so I'm going to play with that. Publix has it. So you put your stuff in the shopping cart, and then you don't have to go online. When you're done shopping, I step off to the side, I scan all my items. My credit card is in the Sam's Club app already, and I pay, and I get a QR code that I can show to the person at the door.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's
I
a
know, I
form
love it.
of self-checkout without having
Yeah.
the station.
And without having to take the stuff out of the wagon again and then putting it back in.
You actually could scan it as you're putting it in.
You could, but sometimes I change my mind. So- and I haven't figured out how to.
Really?
What about things you have to weigh? How does that work?
You
Well,
probably,
I don't think you have like in Publix. I think there are the scan codes, and I don't know how that would work. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
don't-
to try.
it
I'm
probably-
going to try that at Publix.
Yeah.
I'll let you know next time.
Google Play has, organizing, they have that, if you want to go to Google.
Google
Huh?
Pay? Barbara, what'd you
They
say?
have an app, the same, I mean, I don't know if it's the same, but it's the same idea. It says, organize grocery shopping list.
Oh, Organize. Well, you're talking about Organize now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Different app.
but it's a different app, but you can still do the same thing you're talking about. You could put, like, if you're in a big store, you can, in the hardware department and all that.
Cheryl, did I get you?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Bearable. Are you with us? Turn on your mic.
The one I'm using all the time, every day is WhatsApp. because I can talk to all my friends, even overseas, and it doesn't cost anything, and it's a very good connection. It seems as if you are talking to a person sitting right next to you.
Marble, is it, it's voice only?
No, it's voice and
Picture?
also picture, yeah.
Super. Didn't know it
Yeah,
had that one now. Okay.
Yeah, it works very well.
So it's very similar to Skype or FaceTime.
Yes,
Okay. And it's for overseas. Got
yes.
it. All right. Super. Barbara, cable.
I already told you.
Okay.
I'll tell you again. There's a couple more.
Bob Strauss. You with us, Bob?
Bob, now come on.
I could open in the past, but let's see.
You have to forward in that email so I can see what he said.
Bob,
You with us?
he won't answer. Maybe he doesn't have his volume on. Bob. That's my brother. He can't hear.
Got to turn on your mic, Bob. There you go.
Put your mic on, Bob.
There you go. You have your mic on. So tell us what your favorite app is. But he's not coming through.
Mm-mm. He's got tons of them.
Okay. Paul Carter.
Yeah, the app that I use the most every day is music.
Ah.
Over 4,000 of my old recordings transcribed, and I play them while I'm working out.
Okay. Now, Paul, you said you had your old recordings. How did you get them onto your phone?
You helped me do it.
Okay, I'll help you out. What we did was we put them on his computer. Okay. So all his songs are on his computer. Then you put the iTunes app on the computer. The iTunes app goes through and finds not only the music you purchased from Apple, but those that you have on your computer. And it has a complete list. At that point, you can plug in your phone into the computer, open iTunes, and basically transfer those songs onto your phone. Okay?
Worked very well.
Works very well too, yeah. How about Pat? What kinds do you have, Pat? Turn on your mic.
I have two favorites, or I should say one now. I use the Kindle a lot because I can change the size of the typeface, and I'm not wearing glasses to bed or taking a nap and then falling asleep and breaking them.
Yeah.
And also my libraries up north let us choose what app we would like to use to download books. So I download them to Kindle, and that's worked for me. My other favorite app, which I don't use anymore, was Facebook. I used to love their marketplace. It's unbelievable the free things people are getting away. And we've got a lot of young cousins in the area here in Sarasota who are starting up apartments in that. So it's just great for shopping for that sort of thing, or young couples, or a very low price if it's not out and out free. It was just Facebook was just a great way to stay in touch with their messenger app, but I didn't care for the political censorship, so I don't use it anymore.
Yep, understood. Oh, I don't care for the invasion of privacy.
Yeah, okay. That too.
Yeah. Hello, Frank. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine. I mainly use the basics, the Weather Channel, news, and stocks.
You mentioned one called, you use the stocks app?
Yeah.
That's a nice app. Let me share my screen again. If I go back to my iPhone and I'm going to find the stocks app. Okay. I happen to have some favorite stocks there.
Yeah. I look at that several times daily.
Right. You can either cry or be happy every day.
Right.
Looks like at the end of the week here, we're doing pretty good on all of them. Right. My son has my son's company, NVIDIA. That stock just jumps around like crazy. It was over 540 or something 2 weeks ago. Now it's 498, and it just goes up and down like that. For example, I can go to NVIDIA and I can say, well, what did it look like over the past week?
Mhm.
There you go. See it? The past month, past 3 months. Okay. Get the idea? Yeah, it was over 616 a year ago. Wow. Okay, get the idea? So it's a cool app. It's a nice one. Oh, Sharon, did we get one from you?
No, you didn't.
Oh, what you got?
Okay, I have several. I do all the reading apps. As Pat had said, I like being able to go in and make the fonts bigger. At night, I can use the night version, and it's not as bright. And I'm a big reader, so I read all the time. I read the newspaper on I have the digital Herald Tribune. I read that. So reading is one of the things I do the most on my devices. And also, I love the Publix app. I don't use it for the same things that I think it was Barb said she used it for. You can pick your store out. You can make a list, and it will tell you where it is in the store.
Whoa.
Okay. And there you go in and you look at the ads, and there's a buy one, get one. And that's the thing that draws me to Publix the most, is their buy one, get one. Yeah. And you pick them out and you add it to your list, and it tells you exactly where it is. And that is fantastic.
Yeah.
And if you go to a different store, then you just change your store location. But it's so helpful, really neat. And I use it all the time.
What's the name of that app that she's talking about?
Sharon,
No,
Yes?
but, yeah, because you can go from store to store.
can I ask you a question about the Publix app? Is
Yes?
it all the products in the store? It
I believe
is.
so. I believe so. And there is some, if you don't know the exact name, maybe the brand or whatever, it won't be able to give you a location, but you can still add it to your list. And that way you don't have to worry about pieces of paper that you might lose or forget at home. And those are the ones I use a TV guide all the time, because the one on our TV is very poor. I have a TiVo, which is a video recorder, and I can actually schedule it even if I'm not at home. And then I use all the Netflix and CBS and all those. So those are about my favorites.
Super.
And Amazon, every single day.
Sharon, is TV Guide free?
Yes, it is. I don't like it as well since they've upgraded it, and that happens a lot with programs. They make an upgraded version. It's harder to navigate. I just don't like it as much, but I do use it a lot. And they just put something new on Pluto TV, which is, I just downloaded that app so I know what's on when.
Great. Gerda, what's your favorite?
Use FaceTime
Uh-huh.
app and to Europe, but I use FaceTime also and WhatsApp for local, if I talk to local friends.
Okay.
And games I like also.
Which game?
Solitaire, but my favorite is bridge.
Bridge? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
And I assume you're playing with other people you know, or just?
Yeah.
You do? Super. Okay. Let me go to, I'm going to skip ahead here a little bit. Isaac, you there?
Yes, so
Wait a minute, Isaac. Did you spend your gift card yet?
I haven't received it yet.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's because I do not have your contact information.
Okay, Isaac, what's your
Oh, I sent you an email. Okay, never mind.
Who did you send the email to?
To you, Sharon.
I
address?
sent it to both of you.
Okay. Okay. So I prefer the one I use the most is Google Photos, because I get photos from my kids about the grandkids several times a day. That. And then thanks to you for showing me how to do albums and saving them correctly. So I appreciate that. I use WhatsApp a lot because we have friends overseas, and I like to use the phone to call them through WhatsApp. And then I also like To Do, which is my app for all kinds of lists. I put in there movies that some people tell me about, tasks that I need to do, shopping. And the nice thing is it syncs with my wife, who has a similar app, the same app.
Ah, that's the
So
second.
that's the honeydew list. And once I've done the honeydew list, then I'm off the hook.
Jenny, what's your favorite? Turn on your mic. There you go.
We're new at this. This is our first class today, so.
Super. Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah. I can't say that I've been using a whole lot of apps, but the ones we use every day is weather, and I really like the Waze app. I'm used because I'm lost, and so I'm anxious. I did go on and look at the health app you were talking about, and on mine it said, the one I pulled up said you can try it free. So do you have to pay for yours?
No, you've got the wrong one. Get the one. I'll show it to you on my phone over here.
Okay.
See, I got to switch. I got to share my screen again.
Especially the heart one. I don't know. There's some others that were free, but the one on heart, you had to.
It has to look like this app because there's a bunch of them. You see the one right here? It's the white background with a heart in the upper right-hand corner.
Okay. Okay.
Make sure it's that one. That one, I believe, is free.
Okay.
That's the Apple one.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're quite. Do you have any questions since this is your first?
My first time. I just have to get able, like today, I wasn't able to pull up this class on my iPad because I thought maybe I would just, but anyway, I'll figure that out. Maneuvering in the apps is kind of hard for me.
Say that again.
Maneuvering around in the app once I get it up. In other words, I use Fitbit when I do get around to walking. And sometimes I get it, and sometimes I really have to work hard to get it going for myself. So I don't understand that.
Well, that's usually the case when you have a new app.
Okay.
You're always fumbling around. I call it poke and hope.
Okay. Poke and hope. Okay, that sounds good. But I'll get used to it. That's what I'm doing here. Hopefully I'll learn to do better and take more advantage of my phone.
Pat Clancy, I think, did I get you, Pat Clary? I think I got her already.
Who?
Melinda Morgan. What's your favorite app?
Am I unmuted?
No,
you
you're
hear me?
good. Yes, I got you.
Well, it's pretty basic because of COVID. All the shopping apps on Amazon, you can get whole food delivery within 2 hours for your grocery list. If you have Prime. The Publix app, Chewy for your pet supplies. They have a large distribution center in Ocala. So if you order before 3 p.m., you get your order the next day and spend over $49 and shipping's free. So I'd rather buy product than pay for shipping. And then, in the games, I would add backgammon to people's lists. And it's the same thing. You can play with friends or play with strangers, all at different levels.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Inga, do you have a favorite app? Turn on your mic. No.
Impact doesn't go back very far, does it? Yeah.
Okay. Don.
Well, maybe that.
Okay, I have two favorite apps.
Go for
First
it.
one is WeatherBug.
Yeah.
WeatherBug, B-U-G.
Why do you like that one?
I've tried several, and I think it has more features.
Uh-huh.
And it gives me the information I'm looking for. And my other favorite app is Amazon. During the pandemic, that's been my favorite go-to. I love it. Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think I picked up something yesterday from Amazon and ordered 2 more things. So yeah, we're all supporting Amazon for sure. Joanne Miller. Turn on your mic.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. I check the weather app every day.
Okay.
I like to follow people on Instagram.
Okay.
I love positive quotes and those types of things. And I listen to the podcast quite a bit on my iPad. And Fitbit, I check my sleep every day and my steps.
So you wear your Fitbit at night, you wear the Fitbit at night then, I take it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, people recommended that for my watch. I usually charge my watch at night, but they said if you want it to track your sleep cycle, you have to have it on your body. So it doesn't take that long to charge them. So you have to pick a time in the day where you would like to charge it if you want to do that. Thank you, Joanne. Linda Riker, are you with us? Got to turn on your mic. Okay. I want to switch gears now a little bit. And I may be repeating much of what you folks have said. Okay. But if I go to my apps and I look at some of them, and again, I'm going to books. I have put all my book apps in one folder here. I've got Nook, I've got Hoopla, audiobooks, Libby, Kindle. I've got all those different apps that work on my iPad. I know my wife uses Nook, but she doesn't have a Nook device. She uses the Nook app, and she's actually sharing books with my son. So she's able to access his library and he can access hers. If I look at the Books app, and I'm just going to open it up here. Okay. And there's jokes for all occasions. Right? So
Right.
I'm going to pull up the IO. See this one? I've got one on here for the iPhone and one on here for the iPad. Right? So if I open that book, and let me switch so you can see what I'm doing on the screen there. So if I click on that one, right, gives me the pages, and I can turn the page, right? Now there's no controls on the page, but if I click on the page, it has some controls at the top, and it shows you the page you're on at the bottom, and you can actually move it. Now, a lot of you mentioned the feature of changing. Somebody has their mic on. I'm gonna mute everybody. Okay. Or do I have to go out? Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. If I click on it and I go to those A's up there, I can adjust it, right? So make them bigger or smaller. I can change the fonts, and I can also change whether you're viewing this in the daytime or nighttime. If I click the black one here, see how it turns it to black, right? You can have auto set on, so it would automatically. Now I've got vertical modes off, so I'll turn on vertical mode, and it scrolls this way. Okay. I can click the search button, wonderful feature. So if I'm looking for any particular phrase or word in the entire book, like you have a character and you say, where did that character get introduced? You can click on it and type the name of the character, and let me type Siri. Did I get it? No. Yeah, there's S-I-R-I. Okay, now here's every place in the book where Siri is mentioned. Okay. I can bookmark a particular page. So if I tap the bookmark up here, it's now red. And I'll get to where you can find out where those bookmarks are in a minute. And a minute's up. If I click over here, the dots and dashes, and that's a good general thing to keep in mind. When you see those dots and dashes, it's usually the table of contents. So if I click on it, here's the table of contents. Okay. And its contents up here on the little tabs. But look, here's something called bookmarks. And if I clicked bookmarks and I clicked here, that would take me back to the page I was on that I just bookmarked. And I love the sound that makes when you turn the page like that, don't you? All right. In most of the book applications, whether it be the one I just opened, which was books, okay, or whether it's Kindle or whether it's Nook, you usually have those kinds of controls, okay? So especially I know my son uses his phone to read books, okay? Which is hard for me to believe, but he does it well. He's an avid reader, okay?
I use the audiobooks on those applications, and when you're walking, it's nice that you can listen to something.
Ah, good
and,
idea.
and if you can't sleep at night, you can turn the audiobook on, put on a sleep timer, and it will put you to sleep.
I used to put a book over my face in college, and I would think I would absorb the words as I'm sleeping. I don't think that works. But Sharon, if you do that, you don't know where you left off in the book.
Well, I generally do it for about 20 minutes, and if I bookmark where I start,
Okay.
when I fall asleep, I can always go back to where I bookmarked it and did it again.
Figure it out. Oh, by the way, there's one called Flipster, and it's periodicals. And I think that's at your library as well. Now, I'm not sure, I don't use Cloud Library enough to know if Cloud Library gives you the magazines as well. Does anybody know whether?
I don't believe it does.
Okay.
I don't think so, Bill.
No.
So try Flipster, and that should give you the periodicals your library is covering.
And not just the latest edition, it goes years back.
It does?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. I use an app called Calculator. I'll do it on my phone. Okay. And if you turn it sideways, it turns into a scientific calculator. Okay. Let me talk about the general category of games here for a minute. All right, there's a bunch of different kinds of games, like solitaire, right? And that one you play by yourself. Here's the one that Bill mentioned called Sudoku 2, right? And that again, you play on your own. Mahjong, this is one you play, it's just the pieces of Mahjong. It's a great one for the doctor's office.
Yeah, that's Bill. That's not really the game. It's what I call matchy matchy.
You're correct. Matchy matchy. That's a good one. And this one, if you click this one and this one, they will this one and this one. Your job is to find matching tiles and get them removed. This one. And if I click this one, it won't go because it can only go out from the left or right if nothing's blocking it. Okay. And so you'd have to search around the whole figure that's formed here to figure out how to get rid of a couple. And I don't see two that are easy to find right now. Nope. But it's a good game. It's a good doctor's office game. Keep you from going or in the airport waiting for the plane. Okay. If we kick it up a notch, there are some games like, and I'll do it on my, did I do it on my phone yesterday? I think I did it on my phone. There's a game called Heyday. See it there? And that's a bit more sophisticated game. I'm doing it on my phone now. Okay. And this is loading as if it just happened, I think. No. Okay. Okay. And I've got a farm and I've got to start doing this. It basically says your uncle just passed away and you've inherited a farm. And it's showing you the controls. That's the way you would harvest wheat. Right? So if I tap that and I grab the little sign that shows up and I can just move my finger and I just harvested my wheat. Okay, and it put it in the silo. And then I can plant some wheat. So it's a cool game and you can build your farm up and then you can start and end up with a community and it just grows and grows. but it teaches you some basic facts about you gotta sow some wheat, sow some seeds to gain some wheat, and then you can sell the wheat. Ah, come on. Everybody get the idea there? So it's a bit more sophisticated, and it grows through time. You have this forest in the back. Oh, you have a gold mine back there that you can open up eventually, right? Let me get rid of it. Okay. And then there's the mind stretching games a little bit, like see the one there called Can You Escape? Right? And there's a room there. And you go around the room. You go around the room. How's that gonna, yeah. You go around the room and you click on various things. Or you tap, it's called poke and hope, right? So if I go over here and I click on that little picture there. Ooh, what's this? It's a picture, but look. And it has a little color dial. And if I tap on it, now I have no idea what that's about. I have no idea what that's about. I just turned off the music. So I'm going to go back and back. And if I click over here somewhere, let's see, I click the little chest here. Ooh, what's this? Oh, look at this. I have 4 blank palettes. If I click on one of them, has a color. Maybe I should have written down the different colors that that wheel was telling me, and then I could enter them here. So it's that kind of a game where you get clues all over the room in order to go ahead, and I think at some point you get a little card, you plug it in here in the elevator, and you would go up a level. And the objective is to get to the top floor. Okay. So there are a bunch of games like that, Burn the Cages like that, etc. All interesting games. Now, if you're a little more, you go to the educational games, right? And I got a couple here. Let me bring up one called on my phone. There's one called Universe, which is a very interesting, it's not a game, but I'm going to do it on my phone and see it came up here and has the different sizes of things, right? And if I sweep to the left, you'll notice I'm sweeping from right to left, that things get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's giving you different examples of how big things are. For example, if I tap on that waterfall, it says Angel Falls, right? It's 1 kilometer high, right? 1 nautical mile, right? Mariano Trench. Guess what it does? We're out to planet-sized objects. And then we're out to different suns. And I just keep sweeping, and it just keeps going. Relative size. Now let me go the other way. And I'm just sweeping from this case left to right with my finger. And down we're looking at a hummingbird, a bee, an ant, a flea. And all of a sudden, the world's smallest snowman. All of a sudden, we're down to DNA fibers, hydrogen atom, uranium nucleus. You can keep going. So it's a great learning tool in terms of relative size of things. All right. Oh, what other one did I want to cover with you there? Elevate. Okay. And this is more of a brain stimulating application. I tap get started and improve your skill. Okay. And if you want help in doing any one of these things, you would tap yes. So I'm going to tap yes to articulate, improve your focus on reading, writing ability. I'm just going to tap yes on all of them. Okay. And it's what it's going to do is give me get started. She went to or TOO, right? Who's, I don't know if I get this one right or not. Match the word with the image. Protect, protrude, pinnacle, melancholy, right? Ooh, propose. Oh, I'll guess. Did you get the idea, everybody? And there's 4 plus 5, 23 minus 2 is 7, 14. Thank you. And it
What
just
happens if you do the wrong answer?
well, it tells me right here. If I get my results, it's going to tell me I really screwed up. All right. Then it finishes setting up the account. All right. And so it will start building the skills after that by giving you examples, etc. I had a TV guide in here. Let's see if it's on my iPad. Yeah. There's a TV guide. Now I haven't used this much, so it actually wants to know my area code, for example. Okay. And again, I find it hard to use too. I want listings.
In the middle on the bottom.
Yeah, I got it on there, but it's not going to give me, there we go. And here's the various stations and what's playing. Okay, I like that feature, and you can go left and right, before and after right now. All right.
I like Titan TV.
Say again.
Titan, Titan TV.
And what is that?
That's like TV Guide.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it's another app like TV Guide.
Yeah, it's much easier to read. And
okay. Did you hear that? Titan TV is another one. Is it any charge for it, Diane?
No, it's free.
Okay. Like we talked about the health app, right? There's a couple browsers. Okay. Now remember, a browser gains you access to the internet. Google and Bing are applications or places you go on the internet that do searches for you. Okay. So if I go to Brave, do I have Brave on here? Let's see if I do. Yes, I do. If I go to Brave, it is just like Google. I'm sorry, it's just like Safari, but it's not tracking you, right? And so I have an address bar there at the top. If I type in google.com, and I press enter, looks very similar to what you've done in the past, right? And it tells you what Brave is doing. It's blocked your online privacy. Okay. So that's Brave. That's the newest one. DuckDuckGo is it's been around a little longer, but Brave seems to be the one that's gaining prominence right now.
Do you know what the difference is between the two of them?
I do not, right? I'm not sure why Brave is considered more. It's the one my son's recommending now, and he's one of those keep everything private type of people.
Thank you.
Okay. Music, right? And if I bring up my music, I have a whole lot of different apps there. If I want to listen to a particular radio station that I happen to like, iTunes Radio is one, and I'll bring it up on my phone. I have that one on my phone. Okay. iHeartRadio, I mean, is one that I use a lot. And then there's iTunes, there's a TuneIn Radio. So those are the two you can get to with actual stations. You can also use the radio app there and actually move it to the channel you want to listen to.
Did you say you got that one?
Say again?
How did you say you got the one where you can listen to any station?
iHeartRadio.
Okay.
And you do the call letters, or the call numbers. And like, for example, 970 AM, there's a bunch of channels that are 970 AM around the country, and many of them simulcast. So you can be listening to whatever program you want across the country that is streaming its service.
Okay.
Okay, and you just pick the one you like and see if it's the one. And it's interesting because I do one in New York City. I think it's 970 in New York. And I get all kinds of what's the weather doing in New York when they have commercials or breaks. I get the advertisers from New York, etc. But it's the actual station.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
The PBS app has the same kind of a thing for the PBS stations around the country.
Okay, for CBS, yeah.
PBS, public broadcasting.
Oh, yes. Speaking of public broadcasting, I did one. I actually got the app from KDFC. It's a public broadcasting in San Francisco that's classical music. And they're Sirius radio. There's Pandora, which allows you to listen to a particular channel you might like. If you like Elvis music, you type in Elvis, and it plays Elvis songs or the Elvis genre singers from that era continuously. Now you do get commercials, et cetera, if you don't pay a fee. And if you're hearing music, you can do one of two things. If you hear music on your radio, you actually have a radio in your car and you hear a song that you like and you don't remember what it is, you can pull out your phone and say, "Hey Siri, what's playing?" Or you can pull up your phone and enter and tap Shazam, and it will show you, it will also tell you what's playing. And of course, Siri will say, "Here's what's playing, tap iTunes Music and go ahead and buy it." Okay, for storage applications in the cloud, I like Dropbox because it allows us to share information. We at the club who put articles in the newsletter have a Dropbox account that we all put our articles in, and then the news editor, the monitor editor goes to that Dropbox at a particular date when we're all supposed to have turned in our articles, and she goes through them all and creates the magazine or creates our newsletter. I'm a member of Amazon and have Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, I'd like you all to sign up for Amazon Smile. Okay, Amazon Smile, when you buy something on Amazon and you have Amazon Smile, you can choose an organization to donate, and they will donate a portion of the purchase of your thing, whatever it is, to that organization. I signed up, of course, for Stug. So I urge you all to sign up for Amazon Smile and put in STUG, or Sarasota Technology Users Group. And then when you buy something, a portion of that doesn't cost you any more, anything like that. It just ends up, they donate a portion of your purchase to Stug.
Bill, you don't have to have Amazon Prime.
To do that?
You don't have to have Amazon Prime to sign up for Smile, Amazon.com.
Thank you, Diane. I didn't know that. Thank you. Okay. There's a wonderful shopping app for those of you who may like to imbibe a little bit. It's called Vino. And if you're shopping for wine, you can actually bring up the app and take a picture of the wine bottle, and it'll give you ratings, et cetera, a lot of information about that wine. Okay. There's a wonderful travel app called, let me go to my travel, called Fly Tracker 24. Oh, is that the one? Hold on. It's called Fly Tracker 24, and it comes up with something like that. That picture is every flight that's over us right now in the United States. And if I zoom in, by zooming in, it's zooming in here on Florida. We go down. It has all the planes that are there. And if I tap on any one of those planes, it says that's a plane from Tampa to Cleveland. It tells me the flight number, right? So United Airlines through 3579, it's an express, and it's going to Cleveland. If I tap on another one, right? JFK to Tampa. So that one's going to turn around and come back in. Right? And it shows you all the planes on the ground in Tampa. They're about to take off, etc. Again, if I zoom in, zoom back out, it's amazing. Amazing. If I go over to Europe, And I wait a minute, and we'll fill those in as well. It's just a fun app. There also, one of them will actually show you what's overhead. I don't think it's this one. Show you what's overhead at any particular time. Okay. And flight status is the one I use. I put in what flight I'm trying to go pick somebody up at the airport. And I would put in their airline and flight number, and it would tell me what the status of that is at any particular time. Okay. I think I've talked to you folks about this one in the past. It's called Translate. It actually translates from English to another language and back and forth. Okay. Oh, I want to go. I'm not going to do that right now. But you can, you speak one language and it will speak back to you in the other language. And it's gotten so sophisticated now, you don't even have to say what language you're talking to it in. You have it set up to get, let's say, English and Spanish. It will figure out whether it's English or Spanish and give you the translation the other way.
Hey, Bill,
Yes, go ahead.
Google has a translate function
Yes.
also.
Yes, I know. And it's basically the same thing. So
Yeah.
they're really good apps. There's one called Around Me. I like this app if you're doing any traveling, which we're hopefully going to start doing this summer again, right? And you can use it locally as well. If I tap Around Me, it says you are at a particular place. Where's the nearest? And I just tap it. And if I say, where's the nearest gas station? I would click there on gas stations. And it says there's one at Palmer Market on Clark Road, right? There's a Wawa on Clark Road, Circle K. So it's telling me and how far they are away. And then if I go to one, and then I could say Gas Buddy, and it would tell me where's the cheapest one that I can get gas at. Hotels, music theaters, movie theaters, parking, pharmacies. Hopefully it gives me two of them right here. Yep. There's the one on this side of Clark Road and the other side of Clark Road from where I live. Oh, and the Publix also. So if you're in a strange place, this is a wonderful app to figure out what's going on. And you can even get the weather. Wow. Right. Okay, it's 70 degrees out there, folks. There's one I have called, let me go back. There's one called XE, which is a currency converter. There's a couple I like, and others could have different. I like Hotwire. If I'm going over to Disney and I use Hotwire, it'll give me the prices that the hotels are trying to rent out at the last minute. In other words, they don't have a full hotel, and it gives me some significant price breaks. And Kayak is a really good one just for finding general hotel, airlines, automobile kinds of reservations. Yelp, anybody out there use Yelp? No? Yelp will give you evaluations, people what they think of particular places. And if you go there, make sure you're looking for more than one or two, because you may, the particular restaurant employees may evaluate their restaurant as excellent. Okay, somebody mentioned Waze.
Google Maps is great for reviews.
What's it called?
Google Maps.
Is good for reviews as well?
Oh, absolutely. Most
Okay.
people use that, so.
Good.
I find Kayak is very good for reviews.
Kayak also for restaurants?
Yeah, I find that's what I prefer to use.
Okay, there you go. You got some recommendations there, folks. Uber, right? If you want to get an Uber, right? There's the Uber app. What else do we got here? And I have some utilities. I have some utilities. Okay. A couple of the ones I like, I'm doing it on my iPad there on the screen, is one is speed test. Your internet, you're at home and your internet's working poorly. Speed test you can tap on. And you tap go, and it connects to, I'm connecting to Frontier in Tampa. Okay. And it's giving me my download speed and then the upload speed. So you can see if it's the internet that's causing you to go slowly, or it could be the actual website. In that case, you wouldn't know, but at least this would give you an indication of how fast your particular internet service is working. There's one, oops, let me get out of that. There's one called Recorder, which actually you can just, on your phone, it's a wonderful app that you can go and record a particular meeting. So if, for example, we were having a board meeting, it would be an easy way just to record the whole meeting so we could easily make the notes from it. Okay. And of course, there's the old standby utilities, right? There's a compass, there's a level, there's an app called Measure where you can actually measure the length of something. There's the magnifier app. Any others I have there? Oh, I want to mention this one. Some people say I have 5 different occurrences of one person in my contacts book, right?
Yes.
There's a wonderful app called, if I can find it here, Cleaner Pro. Okay, it may have a charge for $2 or $3, but it goes through and says, oh, you have John Smith in here 4 times. Do you want to merge them all into one? And you say yes, and it does it. And so you can easily go through and clean up your address book. And the Recorder app is called Voice Memos, where you can actually record your meeting. I use one called Clock. It's the Clock app from Apple. And I use this app called Sleep Wake Up as a subset of it. And so it says, hey, what time do you usually go to bed? What time would you like to get up? And there you have what it's set for last night. I go to bed at 12:30 and get up at 8:30, basically, to get 8 hours sleep. Okay. And so you would set that for your normal routine, right? So if you go to bed at 10 and get up at 6, want to get more sleep, you can adjust that. Okay. And so it tells you it's time to go to bed, and it rings an alarm when it's time to get up. Okay,
What was the name of the recorder app?
I'll go back to it. Voice memos.
Thanks.
Uh-huh. Okay. Wow, we covered a lot today, folks. A lot of different applications.
Question, how do you get rid of a application if you know you're not going to use it?
Okay, there's a couple of ways. One is if I touch, I'll do it on my iPad there. If I touch the screen anywhere in an open area on the home screen, everything starts to shake. Let me go back here. Right, so if I wanted to eliminate, for example, the voice memo app, you see the negative, see the X here? If I tap the X, it says delete.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Now, if you're running low on memory, and to get them to stop wiggling, you tap the screen or tap the home button. If I'm running low on memory, see where it says iPad storage here? I went to settings and then general. Right, I went to settings and then I went to general. And then I'm going to click on iPad storage. And it comes up and says, hey, you have a bunch of apps that you haven't used in a long time. Now, remember, I said I had 300 apps and I don't use a lot of them very often. And it says save 30 gigabytes by automatically offloading unused apps when you're low on storage. And I can enable that feature so that if I'm running low on storage, it will get rid of the apps I haven't used in the last, well, the oldest ones, right? And here too, you can scroll down in this list and you can go to, let's say I go to Globe Convert. It's 12 megabytes. Well, if I click here, I can offload the app and it will keep any data associated with it, or I can delete the app. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the app. And it says delete. And now that app is being removed from my device. Okay. So if you're really hurting for storage, this is where I would go to see which apps are taking a lot of space and go ahead and delete the ones that I just don't need to use. If I want to use them, I can go and reload them. Okay. So it was my friend's first camping trip with her husband, and they were lost. He tried all the usual tactics to determine the directions. He looked for moss on the tree, and there was no moss. He looked for the sun, but it was an overcast, cloudy day. Right? Just as my friend began to panic, her husband spotted a cabin in the distance. And he said, now I know which direction to go. This way, he said, as he led her back to their camp. How did you do that? It was simple. In this part of the country, all the satellite dishes point south. Yeah, that's kind of lame, but okay. All right. Let me go over here and stop sharing. Do I have any questions or any other apps you folks would like to mention?
I do have a question, and you helped me with it one other time, and I can't figure it out now. I have a little browser window that is off to the side that keeps, when I try, like if I'm reading and I try to change the page, I'll get the browser page coming up again. And you said I had to put them next to each other and then delete the one.
You're talking about you get a two screens?
Yes.
Sharon?
I want to delete the.
So if I'm having, I have Safari up. I have something like this.
Share your screen again.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
Bill,
Yeah, see my screen?
my favorite app is Wallet.
Mine too, by the way. Okay, Sharon.
On mine, the one on the left is sort of underneath, and the one on the right comes out and goes next to it. And I want to get rid, and you
Okay.
showed me how to do that.
Let me do this. So I'm on, let me go to this website. No, not that one. Just a minute. Let me get something here. We'll go to there. All right. All right. Now I've got Safari up, and I'm in particular, I'm at Lenovo.com. Setup's harder than the no. Trying to get two screens to come up, Sharon. How do you do it?
Well, I pull just from the right-hand side, and this other one comes on top of it.
Oh, okay.
And I have my book on the back, that's what I'm reading. And then I try to turn the page, but I get this other screen coming up.
You go clear to the edge. There's a line between the two screens, right?
No, there isn't a line. I can't find a line.
It's just at the top. You can put your finger at the top and pull down, and it should become a second screen.
No.
What happens? Is there a line?
Bounces back up. There's a little line at the top,
Yeah.
and it bounces back up.
Pull it clear down.
I did.
Yeah. I can't get it to happen on mine though. So you're reading a book. Let me pull up a different, and what comes up usually? Your mail or something like that?
No, it's a web browser.
Okay. And so you're looking at a book. So I'm bringing up a book. Boom. Okay. And you put your finger on the left and you go to turn the page, and it doesn't turn the page. It comes up with here we go. Something that looks like that. Sharon, you looking at mine? Can't hear you.
Yes,
So it looks like that. Is that correct?
correct.
Put your finger on that little line. And I moved it to the side and it comes up like that. And then you can go, whoop. Okay.
Nope, it is not moving my page.
It's not moving your page.
The page of the book, no.
Oh. Is your page in scroll mode or vertical mode? So you have something that looks like this now.
No, I can't get that on top of it, and it won't go beside it.
Huh. Have you looked at your settings in books? Both here, if you tap the
No.
screen and you go to you in vertical or scroll mode, vertical scrolling or not? You're just saying when you do that, you get, I see. Wow. What version of iPad do you have? Sharon, I can't hear you. Your mic's off.
10,
Okay.
iPad Pro, I'm sorry.
Yeah. See, I would have to see it and play with it, poke and hope on it a little bit. But settings books might have something in it. There's an option there on allow tapping the left or right margin to advance to the next page. Make sure that's on in settings books.
Yes, and I does do it, but if I don't really tap it and I sweep it, then I get the web browser.
That's interesting. It's just so sensitive. You're just going to have to tap instead of sweep. Yeah, mine doesn't do that because I don't have the Pro. I bet it's the Pro feature.
Well, one time I told you about it, you had me do something and it went away, but now I got it back. So, okay.
Sharon,
yeah.
What if you, and I don't know, I'm a pro, but if you double tap and look at all the apps that are open and swipe up your browser and get rid of it, see if maybe that would do it?
Well,
Just
I'm
a
sure
thought.
probably if you got rid of the apps that were running, it would be okay.
Probably.
Because it's bringing up the last app that was open.
Right.
Yeah,
And there's
that does it.
There's a feature in there for that too. Somewhere about when you sweep in from the right, it opens the last app was open. Switches
Yes.
to it.
Yes, and
there's a setting in there for that somewhere.
yeah, well, you had showed us how you can have them side by side.
Right, right.
And that's not quite because it's on top of the page. It's not next to the page.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, don't want to take any more time.
All right, Sharon. Take care, everybody. What's next
Thank
week? What do we have next week? Anybody remember?
Your smiley face.
What's it? What is it?
Your smiley face.
No,
More jokes.
More. Let me check my calendar.
Is that an app?
Is there an app for that? Oh gosh. Oh,
Bill, thanks. Great.
next week, we're going to be talking about iOS hidden and new features.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Ooh.
And you're going to talk
Awesome.
about the latest version.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you,
Bill.
Bill.
Look
Okay.
forward
you.
to next week with that smiley face.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Take care. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye now.
Isaac, I sent you an email.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.